Olympus announced a new camera a couple of weeks ago. It's the TG-6 Tough Series camera. And in this video I will tell you why you might need one of these instead of a fancy mobile phone for photography. I got 5 reasons for you to get this instead of a new fancy mobile phone. Stick around to find out those 5 reasons. Hi there, I'm Peter Forsgaard, an Olympus visionary from Helsinki, Finland. And before we start, please consider to subscribe to my channel and hit that bell so you get notified when there is a new video online. My channel is all about you getting to be a better photographer. I borrowed the TG-6 from Olympus Finland. So thanks Olympus Finland for letting me test this camera and make this video. And as usual, Olympus does not pay me to make these videos, and not do they even ask me to do these. This is only because I wanted to do this video. But let's start talk about TG-6. This was introduced a couple of weeks ago and it's an upgrade from TG-5. And before we get into the 5 reasons why you might want to have one of these, let's check out some specs. TG-6 has a new processor, TruePic 8, the same processor as the two EM1 series cameras. The LCD screen has a double amount of dots, so it's a lot better than the LCD on TG-5. TG-6 has a few more underwater modes than the TG-5 had, so this one is better in underwater shooting. Video can be recorded in 4K and it also has 120 frames per second in Full HD, so slow motion can be done. And if you want really slow motion, then you can have 240 frames per second, but it's only 720p. And now the 5 reasons. The first one is optical zoom. I admit that phones are really good for photography, but they lack one thing. They don't have an optical zoom. They might have a dual lens, which is, well, it's not an optical zoom, it's just a dual focal length lenses. So like this one, it has, like my iPhone X, it has 2 lenses and they have different focal lengths. You have a lot more options in the focal length and the angle of use. The TG-6 optical zoom is from 25mm to 100mm in full frame terms. So you have a pretty good wide angle 25mm, and then you also have a pretty good telezoom lens, a 100mm lens. And that makes this camera really good, for example, for travel. And if you want to get really wide and the 25mm is not enough for you, then you can use the new circular fisheye converter FCON-TO2. It's a really awkward name for a circular fisheye adapter. And here are some sample images that I took with this circular fisheye. As you saw, you can do a lot of fun with that lens, but of course a circular image is not for everyone, but it's a lot of fun. And the second thing is Pro Capture. Pro Capture is a very unique feature in Olympus cameras. The way it works is, of course, you have to turn it on first, then you have your subject that you want to make images of. You press the shutter button halfway. The camera starts buffering the images into the buffer, and when you press the shutter button all the way down, it will write those images from the buffer to the memory card and it will start taking images. The buffer size on TG-6 is around 5 to 6 images, but it's a very unique way of getting pictures of action that you might miss without this feature. And the third feature is live composite. It's another unique feature from Olympus cameras. It's a very good way of making images of light trails. A lot of other Olympus cameras also have this feature, but I'm really glad that TG-6 has it also, because it can make really fun images in light trails and moving lights and stuff like that. And long exposure photography also works very well with live comp. The way it actually works is that when you turn it on and press the shutter button, the camera will take consecutive images and then it will add only information if the pixel gets more light than the previous image got. And the great thing about this is that you don't need to worry about the image getting overexposed. If you have a proper and the right exposure set up in your camera and start taking live comp images, the image won't get overexposed. It will only add info if the pixel gets more light than it previously has gotten while taking the image. And it's also great for light painting, for example. And it's fun that you can do that with TG-6. I have made a series of videos about live comp and you can watch them from there. And I also we'll put it in the link into the description of this video. And the fourth thing is ergonomics. A phone is horrendously hard to make images with because of the ergonomics. It's kind of thin, and you don't have, okay, you have a proper shutter button, but usually you make the image by pressing the screen. But a proper camera, you have a lot better ergonomics because they are not phones, they're cameras. They're made for photography, so all the design, and you have a place for your finger here, so it's a lot easier. Even though this one does not have a EVF, it's only have an LCD, but still this is a lot better to hold in your hand when taking images. And I think that's one of the biggest advantages of proper cameras, because is the ergonomics. And before we get into the fifth one, I have to admit that I lied to you. I will have 7 reasons why to get the TG-6 instead of a new fancy phone. And the fifth one is durability. So what did you like? It's quite durable, and the camera can take quite a lot of abuse, as you saw. There isn't a phone with the proper camera with these features that can get that abuse. And the sixth one is flag colors, which is also another very, very unique feature that Olympus cameras have. You can set the cameras so that you can see the red color if the image is going to be overexposed, and the blue color if that part of the image is underexposed. And this is a very good feature because you know which part of the image is going to be overexposed. For example, if you have some red on the sky, it might not matter, but if you have it on the face, then it will matter. And that's why the flag colors are very, very essential when doing the exposure exactly correct. And the seventh reason is incredible macro opportunities with this camera. And if you have the LED so-called a ring light that can be attached in front of the camera, you can actually, let's turn it on, you can actually stick the camera right to the subject and get some really, really interesting close-up images. It's totally insane what you can do with this. Let's look at some images that I took with the TG-6 and the attachable macro light. And as you saw, TG-6 is a very good camera for replacing your mobile phone. And just to remind you, here are the reasons why. Do you still have a compact camera in your camera bag? And did I forget some advantages that compact cameras have over mobile phones? If I did, please let me know in the comments down below. And here is a video series about live comp. You might want to watch that because that's a really fun feature that a lot of Olympus cameras have. But hey, thanks for watching and bye for now.